everyone, and today I want to talk about the violent games. And everybody loves video games. Well, we are young actually. And it's a modern toy that are for like all age actually, but especially the children and the teenagers. Well, a lot of us, a lot of children got addicted by video games, but that is not the only case by parents concerned by the effect of the violence of video games. Some of the genres are considered as violent, such as fighting games, horror games, war-related games, and hack and slash game where you wear a sword or a gun, and also some RPG games. The concert influenced the government to ban completely some of these violent video games. Like I heard in Australia, the game called Mortal Kombat is completely banned because the violence is very excessive. And yeah, if you talk about violent games, this name will pop up in everybody's mind first, and it is famous for its so-called fatality, where the winning kill the loser in a brutal way, such as mutilating the body and removing the organ from your body, or also splitting excessive blood whenever a character got hit, like this picture. Yeah, I can. You want me to draw more? Well, Mortal Kombat have a lot of fatalities, and they show us a lot of kind of violence and involving blood. But despite all the fact of all, I want you to know that there are more good behind those violence games. And I want to give you the instruction how to tap into the goodness so it can be usable for your life, since the good morale and the value in the violent game is actually greater than you thought. Believe me that I'm a hardcore gamer, and I was playing game for years, and somehow I can tap into the meaning of the games that they want to give us, even though the game is very violent for you. And according to the article that I found on this statement, you might find the brutal, excessive violence, but it is reasonable. It is in one of the most popular horror genre games, such like Resident Evil, where the hero shooting zombies to save the world from zombie apocalypse. They try to annihilate further damage in the future. And in Modern Warfare 2, the hero was given an option to kill a civilian or not after he joined the terrorist group as a spy. So if you choose to kill a civilian after the killing is done, it implies that they know the hero is a spy all along, and they will shoot the hero in the head. And to be given such an option, you probably can trigger violent thinking like, wow, you're going to be fun to kill people or something like that. But still, that's also a great hit of the drama. Like, it's an interesting part of the story where a man what should do for their country, because this man is more for the country as a spy, right? And both of these examples are reasonable violence. So the violence have a good meaning inside it, like why you did the violence, why you kill people. Well, we kill people because this is war. You want to be killed or be killed. It is something like that we probably will encounter in our lives. And I'm sure that once people grab into the meaning of this game, they will burst into tears at realizing how wonderful the life value is given by this game. And actually, the relation between the violent video games and violence in society have become a topic for many studies for years. Apparently, prejudice about video games and other visual media like TV and comic books, but we talk about video games here, being the major and probably the only effect on violence in society. But I also do some research that it is not greater than the thought. I mean, violence game by child will give you a value, but it is a value that you can even learn at elementary school or at your Sunday school, like do not steal, do not litter on the road. I mean, come on, we are grown up. We don't need that kind of violence anymore. And still, however, the developed violent games such as Silent Hill and Metal Gear, where we shooting people with guns or zombies, don't actually influence the people to do violence. Why? Because according to Huddersfield University study, sports games can cause a greater emotional shock than violent games because the emotion and aggression that the player got by playing games can be triggered easily in a circumstance that they would commonly encounter in our lives. Like you will probably deal with the situation where you have to win a competition in sport competition rather than killing people, right? And or a fictional creature like zombie, they're not exist. You won't deal with such a situation. But I don't know in the future though. If something apocalypse really happening, I don't know. Besides, there are more than one factor causing extreme violent acts like stealing guns or school shooting. Some researchers also found that it is aggressive for children who are most likely drawn to violent games in the first place instead of the games that make them aggressive. So actually there's another factor besides violent games. Like the parents, like how the parents educate them and the society near them, and this is what makes the children aggressive, and then they are attracted to the violent games, not the game itself that make them violent. Since it needs some tricks actually to reap the benefit of violence game, I have a little tips for you to deal with violent games. Like the first one is to cooperate with your friends. If you want to play a violence game, you have to. You don't have to, but it's recommended for you to play cooperatively with your friends. Like some studies suggest that a video game that play cooperatively can increase the teamwork as well as the friendship instead of making it aggressive. And if you have a children and then he somehow want to play a video game, then you have to educate them about which is right and which is wrong, so even though they influenced by the aggressiveness at the game, they know that it is wrong, and then they won't do it in their lives. And so, but still, I want to tell you about this again. I want to tell you about this again that violent video games is actually have a good value more than you thought, especially if you want to deal with violence in the world, because this world is full of violence.